All right, so we've talked about the Cornell method. We've talked about mind mapping. Now it's time to talk about the outline method. Kind of the OG of note-taking methods. It's the kind I think a lot of us kind of naturally fall into this one. It feels, at least to my brain, it feels very natural. Splitting things up into sections and whatnot, which we'll get into. I also want to talk really briefly about some digital tools you can use for taking notes. We'll get to that in a second. Okay. So the outline method, as always, really about the outline method. Have some way to take notes. So this is a lot more structured than Cornell method, although it could be used with the Cornell method. You're kind of organizing all of your information into sections. The most important being first, blah, 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 blah. You can have like a main topic and subtopics, sort of like you would with mind mapping, but you're just kind of writing it out. Headings, subheadings, bullet points, numbering systems, however you want to do it. This, for me, has always been the way I take notes, like during the lecture, during the lesson, because I can write down, okay, today we're talking about rhetoric. We're talking about rhetoric. And then I could have subtopics of logos, pathos, ethos, things like that, and have numbered lists or bulleted lists beneath those subtopics, going deeper into those, and all of it coming together to support the main topic. It's almost like writing an essay where you have a bunch of body paragraphs that are supporting your thesis statement. It's a really good way to kind of think of like that as supporting that main idea, whatever the main lesson is about. So it's very logically organized. That's one of the good things about it. You can go back to it and find the topic that you want to review, especially, which might be a little bit harder with some of the other note-taking methods we've talked about, but not necessarily. It's just if you're talking about like a whole class and you've written pages and pages of notes, the outline method can be really good because you can flip through really quickly. And if you're writing your headings big, you can find the topic that you're looking for very easily. And again, you can use this for basically anything. Mind mapping, it might be more difficult to do some of the more complex subjects if you have to have a lot of information. And the outline method can be a good replacement for that if it works for you. Again, all of these note-taking methods, it's all going to be up to you. It's all going to be how your brain works. And if you like it, you like it. And if you don't like it, you don't like it, which is fine. So again, you're going to have to identify the main topics. And this is a part where having a digital way of taking notes can be good because you can, it doesn't matter how much space you give yourself on a digital note-taking app or Google Docs or something like that. Mostly because on a piece of paper, you only have so much space. And if you have a topic here and you have a topic here and you fill up this space, then you have to do something janky to make it all work. But on a digital note-taking app, that might work a little bit better. So underneath the main topic, list subtopics, go into detail about those, add whatever you need to know about those topics. And I don't know, I like it when you're pretty consistent with how you format it and it all looks good. I think there's something nice about having notes that look good. It's very satisfying. And then again, when you're going back to review, it makes it really easy to find the things that you're trying to look at. So this is an example of how you could do it. So causes of World War I, that's the main topic. We have some subtopics here, militarism and alliances. Going into more detail about all those things. And, potentially you could have, subtopics, subtopics, kind of just keep going down the line, just to have it all organized the way you want it to, but you don't have to. You could even make it simpler where you just have the subtopics and maybe a quick definition or something like that to the main topic. However you want to do it. These are your notes. Outline can be very, very easy. Okay, switch over to Google Docs. I want to show you some things on there. Okay, so what I like about Google Docs and any of these, note-taking apps that you can get is because it's digital, you can access it pretty much from wherever. I have Google Docs on my phone, on my computer, so wherever I am, I'll always have it with me, essentially, which I can't always say for a notebook, like a physical notebook, because I might not have it. I might want to jot down some thoughts about, whatever I'm thinking about, but if I don't have my notebook there, then, if that's what I was relying on, I can't do it. But if I have it on my phone, on tablet, on the computer, then essentially wherever I am, I can be taking notes. That doesn't really apply, obviously, to like a lecture or something, but maybe I'm just writing a book or preparing an essay or, whatever project you're working on. Digital notes are a really good way to always have the ability to write down what you're thinking about. And when it comes to Google Docs, this is what I mostly use. You can organize it really, really well. So I've got a blank document right here. So let's say that I'm taking notes on The Hobbit. Just to go back to that, I can make this. So heading 1, this will show up in my side section here. And then, so that was heading 1. I can make a heading 2, which is like a subheading. I could talk about Bilbo, and see it popped up as like a subtopic in my section header, or kind of like a table of contents almost. And then I could, take little notes about him. And then maybe I want to talk about Gandalf. So I do another heading 2. He shows up there. So now I know if I'm going back to my notes, if I wanted to see what I wrote about Bilbo, I just click on that. If I want to learn about Gandalf, I can just click on that. Another good thing with digital notes is that if you write a lot and you're having trouble finding exactly what you're looking for, you can do Control F. So hold Control and then hit the letter F, and then I can find in the document anywhere. So this also has to be exactly spelled the same way that you spelled it in your notes. Again, say I want to look to see what I wrote about Bilbo, wrote about Gandalf. I can do that. So if you're having trouble navigating, the Control F function can be really, really good. Really good note-taking tool. Okay. Some more benefits to digital note-taking. Again, accessibility, organization, like we just talked about. Really, really easy. You can also share these a lot easier. Say you're part of a group project, and you need to share your notes or have other people's notes shared with you. Really easy with digital note taking. Just tap the little share button and send it over to them. Multimedia integration. You could put in pictures, links to other things, other sources that you're trying to use. Digital notes make it really easy. You can't put a link into a physical notebook. I will say, though, this is what I wanted to talk about a little bit earlier. When it comes to remembering things and having things stick in your brain more, your brain works better if you're writing things out longhand. So a suggestion that I would make to you is, if you're studying for an exam, or if it's just information that you really, really need to remember, write it out in a physical notebook. You can always transfer it to a digital notebook later on, so you can have all these benefits, the accessibility and all that. You can either just retype it or take a picture of it and put it onto the document. But just for your brain, write things out longhand. It works a lot better. So obviously there's pros and cons, but you can get the best of both worlds by writing it out longhand, and then putting it into your digital note-taking app, whatever you're using. Google Docs, Evernote, whatever. Okay. So if you haven't tried out a digital note-taking tool, try one out, and make your little outline. Again, this may not be the note-taking method for you, or it might be. Just try it out. See if it is, see if it isn't, because then at least you know, right? And then we'll have our next lesson, and we'll go there.